they don't get people to show up. So our company educates them from A to Z. We've created a strong infrastructure, and our focus is to make the people understand truly what a rhino is. Because today, the term gets thrown around, it gets bandied about, it gets used anytime somebody doesn't vote the way we want them to vote, or if somebody goes against Trump, or somebody doesn't do something the way we like it, they're immediately a rhino. And that's not what we want. We want to make sure we focus on people who are in red states, not purple, red states or districts, who their constituents voted them in to be America First, MAGA, and MAHA. I think that's important. And we want to make sure that they are doing exactly what you said in your opening statement, which is do what the voters voted you in to do, which is to take care of them and carry out the policies that they ran on and campaigned on.
Well, let's get down to business, because you're absolutely right. There are rhinos out there, and you just released the top 6 rhinos in our country. So let's go through the list. Number 1, Senator John Cornyn of Texas. Now, he's perceived to be disconnected with the GOP base. As you know, he has supported bipartisan gun safety legislations, drawing sharp criticism from gun rights advocates right there deep in the heart of Texas. He also voted for a nearly $95 billion foreign aid package, and the American people voted no for more money to Ukraine. So the Rhino Removal Project gave him a D grade. Let's talk about that.
So the D grade is the MAHA score. And we have a proprietary scoring system, Vanessa. So on our website, and we can walk through it later, we created our own scoring system. So you have Heritage, Liberty, you have Institute for Legislative Services, you have a lot of different scorecards out there. We wanted to create something that took a lot of different data elements and metrics and put them in place. Not just how they voted in the 118th Congress, now it's the 119th Congress, but we wanted to look at how are they with MAHA? How are they with vaccine mandates and health transparency and ultra processed food opposition and stuff of that nature, stuff that we want to protect. Like I had said to you earlier, I have 5 children and 7 grandchildren. I want to make sure that the world is a better place and that politicians aren't selling to the highest big pharma organization out there to try to hurt our children so they can make more money. So Cornyn got a D on MAHA, but he is at the top of the list from a Rhino Scores. That's the name of our proprietary scoring system. And he is what you call number 1 on our tier list, but he is perfect for what we're trying to accomplish, which is we have to have a strong primary candidate. You can't take out a Rhino incumbent with that many years in their belt, because the RNC is going to support the incumbent. So all that money in that war chest, and Vanessa, he probably has a war chest of $25 to $30 million. So you have to have somebody like a Ken Paxton running against him. And that's where we're truly going to be able to pick off and take out some of these rhinos.
Absolutely. So that's going on in Texas. Looking back at the list, let's move on to John Cassidy of Louisiana. He was given an F by the Rhino Removal Project. He has failed his constituents, according to you. How so? Why was he given an F?
So Bill is one of the guys that voted to impeach Trump. He's never been America First. He's never been somebody who wants to support what it is that we stand for, make America great. He's stood against RFK until the end. He's one of the big time rhinos that likes to negotiate and try to come up with what's in it for me type policies. Cassidy's always been one of the top 3. And he's somebody that's long overdue, long past his shelf life as a politician. And with Trump getting elected this time, and proving all the doubters wrong and showing just how strong a true America First people can be when the voters rally around somebody. I think they're going to rally around some of the people, the primary candidates that are running in Louisiana, and there's some good ones. So I think Bill's days are numbered.
Yeah, you mentioned he voted to impeach President Trump. He was one of 7 Republican senators to vote to convict Donald Trump during his second impeachment. That was in the trial of 2021. He also voted to certify the 2020 election results. If you remember that, he did that, and that led to moves for his censorship by the Louisiana Republican Party. So you graded him with an F. Now let's move on to another controversial one. Everyone knows about this one. Lindsey Graham of South Carolina. He received a D. Now he's been booed at Trump rallies, Jeff, in his own home state of South Carolina. So the people there even boo him when he shows up to a campaign event. Let's talk about that.
So let's go through the scorecard real quick because I think it's important. So I'm Leo. In the scorecards, if you look at the 118th score, this is the score that has been changed and adopted with our Rhino score. So when we're looking at the overall impact of the Rhino, we're looking at these scores. So if you look at Cornyn, was 26%. His Maha score was a D. Cassidy was a 24%. His Maha score was an F. Lindsey is 27% and his Maha score is a D. So he doesn't support Maha, and we all know he's a warmonger, he's a neocon, and he's a globalist. Trump, though, can control him, and Trump can get votes out of him. And Trump is in a precarious situation, and this is where it's hard, especially if you're the Rhino Removal Project, because our job is to take out rhinos. Trump can't have a Democrat take over one of these seats. So what he's hoping for is good, strong America First people will run, and they can defeat some of these top-ended, high-end rhinos like Cornyn, Graham, Cassidy. If we can, those people have to be strong enough, the primary challengers have to be strong enough to win in the general election so that we don't lose the seat. And that's the big thing, because if we lose the midterms, then Trump's last 2 years are going to be thwarted. They're going to be stalled. And if you look at what they're doing already today, the Democrats, and what the rhinos are doing, the lowest number of legislation passed, yet he's still having the record first 6 months. It's amazing to me what he has to go through, even though everything he shows and he does proves that he's right.
Right. You know, you have the House and you have the Senate, and President Trump is still struggling. I think, Jeff, they were just saying this week that as Congress goes on hiatus for the next month in August, there's still so many of his people that he has appointed that have not, these nominees who have not been voted in yet. And so that's a problem, especially when you have the House and the Senate. So this is a one-man band in so many different situations. And like you just mentioned, this one-man band is getting so much done, so many accomplishments in just 7 months, going on 7 months now. So we've got to get rid of the rhinos. Let's continue on with the list. I know we talked about Lindsey Graham. Critics say that he shifted his stances to suit political wins. You mentioned that President Trump can control him, but it's whichever way the wind blows for a lot of people with Lindsey Graham. He first criticized Trump, now aligns with his political aspirations whenever necessary, and that may be to your point of he can be controlled. Going on to your list, Tom Cotton of Arkansas received a grade F when it comes to Maha. Let's talk about Tom Cotton now.
So Tom has made the cardinal sin. I've always thought, since like I said, I voted for Trump 3 times. I've followed him since 2015, the escalator ride. And I truly believe America first. How can you live in America and not want to put your country first? It's like saying, how can you live in your home and not want to put your family first. So when we look at these people, we have 15 different data sets and 6 different scorecards that we pull data from. And we do this because we're trying to identify a deep dive on why are they a rhino, not just how have they voted, because that's important, but it's how they act, how they vote, what are their stances against people that have been endorsed or other cabinet picks. Have they impeached? Had they voted like 2020? Were they for January 6th prosecution or were they against it? There are huge things. Are they for Ukraine money? Are they for sending our soldiers? And my son is a sergeant first class in the Army overseas to fight in a foreign war. So when you look at Tom Cotton, Tom has always rode the fence. He's always been about a 70% score if you look at Heritage or Liberty. But you look at him deep enough and you see what he just did with Tulsi. And you see that he's trying to create legislation because he wants to stop her and stop the intelligence apparatus from releasing the data that Tulsi wants to show people, which is Obama and what they did to our country in 2020. Now, to me, is there anything more important to what has happened with our government trying to take control via treason, via treachery, to steal elections, and then go spy on Trump afterwards to try to impeach him and do all the things that they did with the Steele dossier. So Tom Cotton now is trying to create legislation to stand opposed to what Tulsi is trying to do, which is transparency. American people, American voters want transparency. That's what the Rhino Removal Project stands for. We stand for, here's the education, here's the material, here is the facts. Now, we're going to tell you why it's important, but ultimately it's your decision to do with the facts what you're going to do with it. And Tom Cotton, to me, that's a big no-no what he just did. So that's why he got added to number 4 on our list.
Yeah, going against Tulsi is not a good thing right now. She is on a roll and doing great things. Then we have Tom Tillis of North Carolina. He faced a censure by the North Carolina GOP in 2023 for supporting same-sex marriage. He opposed Trump's signature tax spending package. Let's talk about him.
Yeah, Tom felt the pressure. So part of what the Rhino Removal Project brings is social media has become such a dominant force right now. And politicians know it. They play it, they utilize it to the best of their ability, whether it's their interns writing posts or whatever they're doing. The Rhino Removal Project, indirectly through all of our followers and our large influencers who are true America First patriots, we have over 19 million people. And those are people that follow influencers that are connected with the Rhino Removal Project. Now that's power, because when we want to send out information, we want to put out a post, we're going to get thousands and thousands and thousands of impressions. A lot of people are going to see it. And that's powerful, especially when you're trying to educate people. We hold spaces. We want to do town halls. We're going to do rallies. We're going to do live events. That's all important because we want to get in front of the people. I'm just an everyday, normal guy. You know, I started this company as a disabled vet. We have a Purple Heart veteran who's the president of the company. We have great patriots, all who are volunteers to be a part of this. 176 people have volunteered and are functioning in this organization. So Tillis is retiring. And he's retiring. Why? Because of the pressure. He's seen the handwriting on the wall. He started feeling the pressure. He knew that his voting and his standing opposed to the cabinet picks and all the things he was doing bad in North Carolina was too much. So he took the easy way out instead of getting hammered at the polls and getting defeated. So this is his easy way to take the exit. And now we just have to make sure we find a very good, strong replacement who's going to be America First.
Right. That's what we need to do in all of these because, again, we have to get rid of these rhinos. But like you've said, we have to find candidates who are strong to take that role. Rounding out the top 6, Don Bacon of Nebraska. Now, a little bit about him. He's criticized President Trump on foreign policy, tariffs, rhetoric. He also drew backlash for opposing Trump-backed candidate Jim Jordan. That was in 2023 when Trump backed Jim Jordan for House Speaker. So let's talk about him.
Yeah, Don is in one of those unique purple districts, and he's trying to cater to a very unique mix of moderate type voters. He's always been, in my eyes, a rhino. He's always been somebody who stood against Trump, stood against America First policies, stood against Make America Great, pro-Ukraine, pro things that we all oppose because we know it's not good for our country. It's not good for our soldiers, our men and women. It's just not good for our country. And a guy who's mentored me, Bearded Vet, he's a big, huge influencer on X, great guy. He's helped Trump, and he's in Nebraska. And I think he was probably very, very largely responsible for pulling some stuff out, putting some truth out there on social media that helped kind of grease the skids a little bit to get Don Bacon to retire. And Don Bacon is in the same boat that Tom Tillis was. He's seen the handwriting on the wall. He's seen some stuff. The people see, because in social media, Vanessa, and you see this more than anyone, independent reporters have become empowered. We have the power to put out truth. Now, there's a lot of junk out there, and you have to sift through it. But there's great people out there that are fighting for our country every single day, like Bearded Vet. And his information that he was able to post and put out with his size of audience and followers, I believe was very instrumental in helping get Don to think long and hard and finally making the decision to retire.
Yeah, and that rounds out our top 6 from the Rhino Removal Project. Leo, how can people help out, call out these rhinos, get involved with the Rhino Removal Project? What do people need to know so they can help you get the word out?
So you can follow us on X at Rhino_removal. You can follow our website, rhinoremovalproject.org. Vanessa's team is showing. You can go and you can become a corporate sponsor. You can become a featured spotlight partner. You can contribute. You can hit the contact us. Sign up, volunteer. Join the over 177 people who have become a part of this great movement. We are looking for sales associates, sales executives. We're looking for fundraising. We're looking for people that can answer the phone. We're looking for researchers. We're looking for state chapter leads, people that can manage states. South Carolina, Arkansas, New York, Florida. So we're looking for people who care about the country like we do. And we want everyday patriots. So we want somebody who's existing in the world today, maybe making it paycheck to paycheck, and who have children who maybe are in the military or have young children or grandchildren who care about what they're putting in their food, what kind of processed food, what are they doing, what kind of vaccines are they mandating? Is it impacting autism? What our government has done over the last couple of decades is horrific. And that's why stuff has to be researched and it has to be looked at. And the Rhino Removal Project, I promise you, if you go to our website, you take a good look at us, and you look at all the tabs. And if you're interested in joining us and being part of the jobs page, go to rhinoremovaljobs.org, and you'll see all of our jobs. So visit the website, follow us on X, follow our community on X. We have over 6,700 people in our community. And join the fight. Be one of us, one of the volunteers, and enjoy taking the fight to the rhinos who are making a lot of money off of our tax dollars.
Leo Bresnick with the Rhino Removal Project. Such a pleasure to have you on. Thanks for being here with us on LindellTV and for all of the hard work that you do. I know people are fed up with not only the left, but the deep state can cover both parties. And, you know, for these rhinos who ride this Republican name and then don't pay attention to their constituents, it's just hard to fathom, but that's the reality of America. And so we have to get them out. But in order to do so, we have to find great people to run against them, like you've mentioned. And we're going to get there. America is waking up and America sees what's going on. And you hit the nail right on the head when you talked about the MAHA movement. Mothers, mama bears are coming to the defense of their babies, and we're not going to stand for what's happening with what they're putting in our children's vaccines and in their foods, and ignoring the mothers' calls for help and cries for help when we want change, because you mentioned autism rate going up. There's so much to talk about in that aspect as well. So keep doing what you're doing, putting up the great fight. And I hope everyone watching, if you're, no matter what state you're in, if you're interested, please get in touch with the Rhino Removal Project. As Leo just mentioned, they are looking for people to help in this fight. And the more fighters we have, the bigger chance we have at winning the end game. Leo Bresnick, so good to have you on. Thanks for joining us today here on LindellTV.
Thank you, Vanessa, for having me.
Now to Washington, D.C., where the talk of the town is the massive deal between the U.S. and the EU. Here's our Allison Steinberg with more.
It's a very powerful deal. It's a very big deal. It's the biggest of all the deals. It will be the biggest of all the deals.
President Trump announced a new trade deal with the European Union on Sunday, unveiling a new 15% tariff on European imports while keeping existing tariffs on steel and aluminum in place. This trade relationship represents close to 30% of global commerce and 43% of the world's total GDP. And now, this new deal is laying the groundwork for future economic collaboration between the two sides, enabling the EU to open its markets while investing $600 billion to the U.S. and purchasing $750 billion in American energy. The EU also agreed to set its tariffs on U.S. goods at 0%. European countries are even committing to buying a significant amount of U.S. military equipment.
And they're agreeing to purchase a vast amount of military equipment. We don't know what that number is, but it's the good news is we make the best military equipment in the world, so sort of you have to do that.
Even reporters who were skeptical of the tariffs couldn't believe how good this trade deal was.
I have a question for the EU, Mr. President. What are the U.S. concessions? What is the U.S. giving up in the deal, if anything?
So the starting point was an imbalance, a surplus on our side and a deficit on the U.S. side. And we wanted to rebalance the trade relation. And we wanted to do it in a way that trade goes on between the two of us across the Atlantic, because the two biggest economies should have a good trade flow between us. And I think we hit exactly the point we wanted to find. Rebalance, but enable trade on both sides, which means good jobs on both sides of the Atlantic, means prosperity on both sides of the Atlantic. And that was important for us.
There's no doubt that these tariffs are bringing a surplus of money into our country, despite fears a few months back that Trump's deals would cause an economic meltdown. Quite the contrast from what we're seeing now.
So the tariff revenues are amazing, right? $700 billion a year. That's just net new money the government never had before. So you take that every year for 10 years, that's $7 trillion. And then what they're not counting is the way the president is smashing open these markets.
The S&P closing at records each day this week. First time it's done that in almost 4 years, back to the go-go days of late 2021.
I think Trump has eroded global trust in the American economy and American deal-making.
You mean the all-time high market ever in history?
It's high because they don't believe.
The all-time high?
They think Trump is going to chicken
never
out.
Been higher. Never been worth more.
Kevin,
never been more successful. Never.
When the liberation
eroded my trust. All-time high today at 4:30. In history, never worth more. What are you talking about?
Even Bill Maher, who's becoming more and more disillusioned with the Democrat Party, finally admits the tariffs are working.
Now, I remember along with probably most people, were saying at the beginning, oh, you know, by the 4th of July, somebody had to think how the country was, the economy was going to be tanked by then. And I was kind of like, well, that seems right to me, but that didn't happen. Now, it could happen tomorrow. I'm just saying that's reality. So let's work first from the reality of that, not from I just hate Donald Trump. I don't see a country in a depression at all. I see people out there just living their lives. And I would have thought, and I got to own it, that that these tariffs were going to sink this economy by this time, and they didn't.
Trump has thoroughly delivered on his promises to make exceptional deals, and they are even brokering peace around the world. The president announced Monday that he successfully mediated a ceasefire between Thailand and Cambodia after threatening to block trade deals with both nations unless fighting over their centuries-long land dispute is stopped.
So we solved it through trade. I said, I don't want to trade with anybody that's killing each other. So we just got that one solved. And I'm going to call the two prime ministers who I got along with very, very well and speak to them right after this meeting and congratulate them. But it was an honor to be involved, and that was going to be a very nasty war.
Trump essentially did the same thing when he used trade to negotiate a ceasefire between India and Pakistan earlier this year, for which Pakistan nominated him for a Nobel Peace Prize. Now, will this work for the Russia-Ukraine war? Earlier this month, Trump threatened to slap 100% tariffs on Russian imports if a peace deal is not made. That deadline has been reduced now from 50 days to just 10 to 12 days.
There's no reason in waiting. There's no reason in waiting. It's 50 days. I want to be generous, but we just don't see any progress being made.
That is what you call the art of the deal. Now that the EU agreement is in place, it's up to other nations like Mexico and Canada to reach a deal with the U.S. before the August 1st deadline, when tariffs will take effect. Will the trade war continue, or will nations come to an agreement that is sensible and prosperous for the world? Reporting for
All right, that was Allison Steinberg in Washington with that report. Meanwhile, it was a beautiful day on the golf course for President Trump and his family. The president cutting the ribbon for the grand opening of his new golf course in Scotland. With golden scissors in hand, the president cut the ribbon on his luxury golf course, calling it the greatest course anywhere in the world. The ceremony took place at the Trump International Golf Links, where he was joined by Eric and Don Jr., top business partners, and Scottish dignitaries. President Trump is now on Air Force One on his way back home to the White House. When we come back, heartbreak in Manhattan. A police officer killed in a shooting rampage. The latest updates when we come back here on Spin Room. And as a reminder, you can follow us for all breaking stories on our social media accounts. That is X, Rumble, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Make sure you follow us there. We'll be right back here on Spin Room.
If you want to feel and look your best, you need to check out Pure Health Research. They have 45 premium health supplements that are designed to help you with everyday health goals. Whether it's boosting your energy or trimming belly fat, supporting healthy blood sugar, pumping your testosterone up, or even reducing swelling in your legs, Pure Health Research Supplement Store has you covered. Each formula is crafted with natural, non-GMO ingredients, backed by clinical research and manufactured right here in the USA. And here's the best part. Pure Health Research is offering you an exclusive 35% discount. Just go to purehealthresearch.com and use promo code Lindell at checkout. With their 365-day money-back guarantee, there's nothing to lose. So head over to purehealthresearch.com now, explore their 45 amazing supplements, and save 35% before this deal ends with promo code Lindell. With everybody talking about making America healthy again, I thought today'd be a great day to talk to all my fellow patriots about the importance of making your homes healthy again. Well, we have proudly partnered with airwaterhealing.com and their revolutionary whole home air purification system. The V3 from Air Water Healing does 3,000 square feet of purification. It eliminates dust, mold, viruses, and odors. But here's the part I love. They require no filters to ever be changed and virtually no maintenance. Whether you suffer from asthma, allergies, seasonal bronchitis, or just want to protect your family from the flu or even greater threats, don't wait to get your V3 from airwaterhealing.com today. Use code Lindell for 20% off in savings and free shipping. That's promo code Lindell at airwaterhealing.com.
Huge breaking news. Mike Lindell Media Corporation, which includes LindellTV, has gone public with the stock trading symbol MLMC.
Kara Castronovo from LindellTV.
This is Allison Steinberg here with LindellTV.
We are currently on LindellTV.com.
The platform, which has rapidly grown to attract 7.2 million monthly viewers and 150 million annual impressions. Vocalist's subsidiary social media network supports over 70,000 accounts, and MLMC is poised for even greater success.
This is going to be big, everybody, and I'm really looking forward to it.
We're back with video of New York City, where the spirit of the city is broken this afternoon after a mass shooting there last night. 4 people were killed, including a beloved police officer. The 36-year-old off-duty police officer was working security. The incident happened in the lobby of the high-rise at 345 Park Avenue, which houses major companies like the NFL and Blackstone. According to police, 27-year-old Shane Devin Tamura of Las Vegas arrived in New York earlier in the day, entered the building armed with an AR-style rifle, and opened fire in the lobby before going to the 33rd floor. That's where he ended his own life. Pictures released show how workers, right here, you can see it, they barricaded themselves into their offices with couches, desks, and anything they could to keep the shooter out. The NYPD officer killed leaves behind a pregnant wife and 2 young children. He was hailed a hero for his service. Now to chaos in the sea, a tragic incident unfolding aboard the Royal Caribbean Icon of the Seas when a 35-year-old crew member allegedly stabbed a woman colleague before going overboard and later dying. The ship was sailing near the Bahamas. Authorities say the man stabbed his co-worker multiple times after a personal dispute. Now, she's currently in stable condition. As you can see here, rescue boats saved the man from the water, but he was brought aboard where he did pass away. The cruise line offered condolences to the families impacted. The vessel continues on its planned itinerary. And in Reno, Nevada, 3 people were killed and 3 others wounded in a shooting outside the Grand Sierra Resort and Casino. The shooting happened in the valet parking area where a gunman opened fire on a group of people. Police and casino security, they responded quickly. The suspect exchanged gunfire and later struck a patrol vehicle. Officers returned fire, injuring the gunman and taking him into custody. He remains hospitalized in critical condition. And those are more of your top stories for today. Switching gears when we come back, Mike Lindell joining us to talk about health, vitamins, and everything you need with All Family Pharmacy. Stay with us here on Spin Room.
Friends, we all know the truth. Big Pharma and the federal bureaucracy have made a mess of health care in this country, and boy, that's an understatement. President Trump signed an executive order to bring prices down, and that's a great step. But we know that real change takes time. There's one pharmacy that is already stepping up. I want to tell you about All Family Pharmacy. They're not waiting. They're taking action now with a summer sale that gives you the power to take control of your health. Right now, through the end of June, you get 20% off site-wide, no insurance required. Did you hear that? 20% off, site-wide, no insurance required. They work with licensed doctors in all 50 states, and they ship fast, straight to your door. Whether it's ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, methylene blue, antibiotics, emergency kits, or your daily prescriptions, this is a time to stock up. If you believe in medical freedom, if you're tired of waiting for someone else to fix things, do what I do. Take action. Go to allfamilypharmacy.com/Lindell and use promo code Lindell20, Lindell 20 for 20% off your entire order. That's allfamilypharmacy.com Lindell. Promo code Lindell20. Let's protect our families, defend our freedom, and make America healthy again together.
With us, Michael Kunzler, the co-founder of All Family Pharmacy, family owned and operated, right, Michael?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll tell you, and you guys just saved me. We're going to get into what you have, and I know everybody knows I was just in a big trial in Colorado, and I wasn't feeling well, and you guys saved me, and I want to thank you for that. Get right out of the gate. And you guys, I don't get you all know. I don't get behind anything unless I 100% am all in and believe in it. And I really believe in what you guys are doing. And so why don't we get into it? We're going to leave the website up the whole time here. We're talking, everybody, so you too can get involved and take advantage of this this great family-owned pharmacy, All Family Pharmacy. So why don't you tell us, Michael, when you got started and what it is and why you got into this great business and helping people?
Sure. So we got this pharmacy right at the end of 2019, early 2020. Just so happened that the pandemic hit right as we got all of our regulation, all of our licensing set up for it. And we ended up getting in touch a little bit later that year with a company called America's Frontline Doctors. And they said, hey, are you a pharmacy who ships? And we're like, yes, we do. We're licensed in, X amount of states. Are you willing to sell ivermectin for us? I said, absolutely. We'll sell whatever you want as long as people want the drug. I mean, to us, we thought that was the norm, right? That's how we grew up. Whatever as an American, you have the freedom to choose what you need. And so we started dispensing for this telemedicine company, which was on all over Fox News, all over, all the platforms, whether it was good or bad. We dispensed the medication, ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, antibiotics, inhalers, you name it, anything somebody would need for COVID. And it became a huge success. And they started calling us, and they're like, well, you're the only pharmacy that answers the phone. You're the only one that I can talk to a pharmacist. You're the only one that'll help me get another prescription. None of these other pharmacies want to help me. What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. So my partner and I sat down and like, why don't we just bring a doctor on board? We can get them the prescription, we can dispense the medication, and we can do it in 2 to 6 days or less. If we're not busy, we were doing it in 2 to 3 days. If we're busy, it could extend up to 6 days. And we did that. We built a business because other people didn't want to help Americans. So we stepped up. We created All Family Pharmacy. And, now here we are promoting on the Mike Lindell TV. So it's been a huge success. Right. And we're proud of the company. We're proud to be where we are.
Well, I'm going to ask you a few questions that they gave me for you with our people that tune into Lindell TV. But I'll tell you, everybody, I want to interject a commercial within this. These guys are the real deal, and it's real. It helped me. I mean, what timing? You talk about perfect timing. When I was out there in Colorado, one of the most important trials for the country, I believe, and I got well real fast, and the other thing too is I really believe in your company. What perfect timing for you guys when the virus came and you had everything in place. I mean that's like divine appointment there. I mean that's amazing. And so now we're sitting now, and now we all know what ivermectin and all these other things can actually do. I think we knew it then. They just tried to suppress it. I was very much involved in. I had other things going on with when the virus came in, and I had something that actually worked, and they just suppressed me and attacked me. And did you guys go through all that too, or did you? Or were you able, because you were out ahead of it? Were you able to? Was there any problems back then, or did they come after you at the frontline doctors like we know they all did, just trying to stop this from this great stuff from coming out?
Yeah, we faced a lot of pressure. The pressure could come from regulators. The pressure could come from numerous sources, doctors. It could even be family members. We've had family members call social services on other family members because they wanted ivermectin, and whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, we're here to take care of Americans and Americans only. We're a licensed pharmacy, we're a licensed medical provider, and that's what our duty is as an American pharmacy. So we're always going to have pressure, and the pressure could be in numerous amounts of ways. We actually had to close one of our pharmacies in the past because of pressure with America's frontline doctors, and it was kind of sad to watch and see it unfold. But we're in the great state of Florida where we've always been, and this state protects us. They've always protected us. Governor DeSantis protected us during COVID. He didn't let us shut our doors. He kept us open. He gave us the ability to operate, and we did it. We did it through all the variants of COVID when people were forced to shut their doors, and we were able to stay open. So that was great.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm reading some of these questions here. The problems that you talk about, insurance companies that own their pharmacies. Is that a problem? I mean, how does insurance work with you guys? Follow us through. I mean, but I see some of these questions here that why are insurance companies even allowed to own pharmacies in the first place? Isn't that kind of conflict of interest?
It's a big conflict of interest, and it's something that the American does not know. CVS, your local pharmacy, there are thousands of stores nationwide. They own Aetna, and they own Caremark. Caremark is a PBM, and so is PBM is a pharmaceutical benefits manager that was put into place to keep drug costs low. But what did it do? It drove the cost of drugs up. If you come to a pharmacy like myself and I were to take your insurance, they would pay us for a generic drug like a blood pressure medication that cost me $5. They would pay us maybe $8. They would tack on a 12% fee, so I'd have to pay them 12% back for dispensing that medication. But if that same patient were to go to a CVS, they would dispense them up to 3 to 5 times more, not charging them the fee. So you can see why drugs have gone up in price over the years. And insurance companies are one of the biggest problems that people don't want to talk about because obviously they're lobbyists and they own a lot of politicians. So people are scared to talk about them. But, we're not scared. We're not contracted with any insurance carrier. We don't take insurance. And the reason for that is pricing transparency and medical freedom. We want you to be able to choose the medication that you feel is best for you and not the insurance. So
that's something I so believe in, everybody. We just went, I've seen this even over the past 3 weeks. I had a loved one that I went to a Walgreens and there was the insurance price on this thing was outrageous. It was like, let's say $1,700. And then even the copay was like $600. Then the guy gave this form and he said, well, if you go sign up with this big pharma, if you sign up with it, now you're going to get another $300 off, but now they got your name. I mean, it was just a whole thing. I'm out in the car going, what, this is just a big scam to get you tied into them, these big insurance companies and and big pharma. And one of the things too, I have a friend of mine that just got diagnosed with a very serious, and I told him, I said, you need to go outside your insurance company and see what's out there. Because insurance company, you're in a box. You really are put in a box. They're gonna pay this much, but also they're not gonna pay for this drug or this drug because they have and especially when they're in collusion, when they're their own pharmacy. What do you think they're gonna sell you? Oh, we cover this, but we don't cover this. And this works with doctors, it works with everything. It's disgusting. I think what you're doing is so good for the country. and for people in general to help with all this. I know the media has spent years calling ivermectin misinformation just because it's being used off-label. I think with ivermectin in particular, it has so many traits that are so good. And boy, you just look at the attack Big Pharma did on that drug alone, and now it's all coming out, and people are going, think of the lives that could have saved, the things that could have been and could have been, and Len, on that drug alone. And by the way, on your pharmacy, do you have all different things? I know I kind of focus on the ivermectin because it's like there's so many things. I know people that have taken it for other things too, not just for when they had COVID. But can you say a little bit of all the? I mean, is your pharmacy you have all different things, or is it just a limited thing that you choose to do that wasn't usually available out there?
Yeah. I just want to circle back on one point. You talked about going to the pharmacy and with your insurance, and the drug costs $1,600. Your copay or your deductible $600, and then you have to sign up for a manufacturer's coupon to get a check in the mail 4 weeks later for a couple $100. Do you know that there's a law called a no gag clause that when you walk into a pharmacy and you tell them you have insurance, you legally have to go through your insurance? That pharmacy could have a cash pay for $1,200 where you could save $400 out of your own pocket by paying for the drug cash, and they cannot sell you that drug cash the minute you tell them you have insurance. So the insurance is owning the game just based on these no gag clauses where the pharmacist cannot say, well, we also have a cash price that's a couple $100 cheaper if you just pay us with a credit card right now and we dispense the drug.
Right.
You can't do that. So it's a sad thing to watch. But RFK Jr., he's fighting that right now with the prior auths. That's one thing that they're trying to get rid of. But circling back to the pharmacy, we carry over 300 drugs. We're constantly adding new medications. So the new ones, the major ones that we love, ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, antibiotics, mebendazole we have methylene blue, which is the RFK Jr. drug again too as well. I take methylene blue, and I also take another one called NAD+. I think NAD+ is the future with methylene blue. This is for cellular support, stabilized energy throughout the course of the day, mind focus. There are so many Americans out there that are just drinking coffee all day long. And at the end of the day, the fatigue kicks in, the acid reflux kicks in, all the other problems with drinking too much caffeine kicks in. NAD+ is one of the newest drugs on the market, supplements, I should say, because it's naturally occurring in your body. It's huge. We love the combination of NAD+ and methylene blue, especially for those hardworking Americans who need their mind, who need their focus through the day. They also need energy. We work 40, 50 hours a week. We don't take off. We don't live on state income. We don't live on welfare. We don't do any of that. We want to work every day. These medications are there to support you. Outside of those drugs, we do have everything else. We have your blood pressure, your maintenance meds. A lot of our drugs are very cheap. You can come and get a 90-day supply of your blood pressure medication for $25. And then if you use one of the coupons, 10 to 20% off, it's only $20. You can't even get that through insurance for that cheap. So, we offer these services for a reason. Everybody should have a little extra medication in their cabinet in case something were to happen. So much going on with wars, so much going on with politics. Everybody's fighting over everything. The traditional American needs to have medication in their cabinet for peace of mind, to make sure that they're ready for when something happens.
Right, and proactive medication. You guys, I'm taking that methylene blue since you sent it to me. Now, what was the other one that I should add to that?
NAD+. Nobody knows about it.
Right. And I'm telling you guys, by the way, everybody, go right now to allfamilypharmacy.com/Lindell. I'm telling you, another good thing I want to say about your company, this was so easy. I got the order, it came to me, and it's so self-explanatory. You had a nice thing written there. Here, do take this, and it wasn't like you had to grab glass and go, get on the bottle and you're all, flustered of what I should take. I really like the way you guys lay it all out, and it's beautiful. And you go, okay, I'll take this, this, and this, and I really believe there's not too many right out of the gate that I believe in the companies and the products, but you guys are it. I'm telling you, and I'm very excited. I'm going to be taking that NAD plus with those things. It's you get more clarity. That's what I'm getting, right? It's kind of it's a brain. It helps brain clarity. Correct?
Yeah, cognitive effects. And it's also got neuroprotective properties. So it's going to protect the cells in your brain. It just keeps them going. It doesn't allow them to die off. That's where people end up getting Alzheimer's. They end up getting some of these major neurological problems, dementia, obviously, number one. Methylene blue, NAD plus are always going to be around. It's for cellular support. And again, one of the things we talk about with cancer is cancer cells kill healthy cells. How do you keep cells alive? Methylene blue could be a great supportive system where you're keeping your cells alive. It's allowing that ATP energy to run through those cells, mitochondrial support. I mean, these are big, big groundbreaking medications that could be the future, and there are more to come. We're already seeing it in the pipeline. You can go to the FDA trials. You can take a look at all the manufacturers. But methylene blue and NAD plus, those are two very, very popular medications we've recently added over the course of the last few months. My staff loves them. Our patients are calling now and they're refilling them and they're truly, truly enjoying them. Again, methylene blue you can get over the counter. It comes in a liquid. It could stain your kitchen. It could stain the cups you use. It could stain your teeth. We do it in a capsule. Nice little capsule. You pop it first thing in the morning. It might take 15 minutes longer to kick in or 30 minutes longer to kick in, but there's no mess.
No, absolutely. And I can attest to that, everybody, because I know someone that was taking the liquid form and you go, what happened to you? But these capsules are awesome. You guys, I can't say enough about this company and these products. It solves so many things. You can get the things you need to be proactive. You get the things that you need to avoid the insurance companies and avoid big pharma that tells you got to take this. We're only offering you this. And these guys are great. I've done my due diligence, family owned and operated. I think you all need to go to allfamilypharmacy.com/Lindell. You guys get on board with this. I am. I believe in it, and you're going to hear a lot more of this because, Michael, I'm here to stay. So you guys here at LindellTV, I'm very careful who I pick for sponsors. I used to just have my pillow, getting great sleep, but I'll tell you what, you guys, we now have place we can be proactive in our health and in our thinking. We all got to get great sleep, and we've got to stay healthy. And this is the answer I've been looking for Michael. So I want to thank you for even though I know you had a lot of pushbacks and a lot of over the last 5 years where you've had different setbacks, but you guys kept it going, and you were one of the most needed things to fight. I went up against Big Pharma. I know what it's like, and it is horrific. I'm still fighting Big Pharma for going back 5 years right now, and a couple other things. But so you guys have stayed the course to help people, and God bless you, and we're going to get you back on soon. Do they guide us through when they go to allfamilypharmacy.com/Lindell? What are they going to find there? Or what can they, is there, I'm the customer right now and I call it, what are they going to get? Or what are they going to get? Your website and they'll guide it through and.
Yeah, so we have a couple different options. Option A would be you can order on the website. Option B, you can call us. We have licensed technicians answering the phones. These are pharmacy techs. They're licensed. They know what they're doing. They're backed behind our pharmacists when it comes to information. So you have the full ability to talk to our pharmacists when you purchase medications from us. But when you get to the website, we have two different areas. We have the ivermectin page only, where there are people that are just looking specific for ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, any type of COVID flu support. We have Tamiflu on there. We have antibiotics. We have rescue inhalers. We have steroids. We have steroid packs. We have tons of meds. So you can just scroll through to see what you need, based on your lifestyle, how you live. I like to play a little bit of sports now, even though I'm a little bit older. I have a Medrol dose pack in my cabinet. If I roll my ankle playing basketball, I've got a 5-6 day course or 7-day course, and the inflammation's gone within a week or two. Instead of having to go to a podiatrist, takes a week to get an appointment, and then they prescribe it, and then you got to fight in line at CVS, and everybody at CVS, getting their flu test or their COVID test, or they're doing something there because they're sick. There's a reason why they're there. We have it ready to go. So you can just place the order online. You can also do it over the phone with one of our licensed technicians. We put you in touch with the doctor. We give them all the medical information you give us. We ship it FedEx 2-day. Our FedEx is very fast, very reliable. Obviously, when it comes to snowstorms, there's not much we can do, but FedEx is outside of that is very reliable. We offer next day service as well. So we could ship it to you overnight. You get it before 12:30 p.m., especially if you're sick. But we encourage you to order before you get sick. Don't wait till it's too late.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, there you hear it, guys. Go to allfamilypharmacy.com/Lindell, and you're going to hear a lot more from Mike and Michael here. Mike and Mike. Michael,
Perfect.
God
Thank
bless
you.
you. It's been an honor meeting you, and I can't thank you enough for helping me out and getting through that trial in Colorado. I couldn't have done it with all the stuff you sent me. It was like perfect timing, and I just had a relative too that needed a lot of the stuff. We've almost went through all that package that I got my order, so I'll be ordering more today, and all of you out there should too. We've got to push back on Big Pharma. We're not going to let the insurance companies and Big Pharma tell us what's good for us anymore. We make our own choices, and now we have an option, and this option is awesome. Thank you, Michael, and God bless, and we'll have you on very soon.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. You have a wonderful day.